de Rudocast.
Rudo Nation, what is going on? It's your host, Jay, and I'm here coming at you with another episode of the Rudocast, joined by the other members of the Rudo Trio, the Rudo's podcast trio. Introducing first, the man with the OnlyFans, but no belt, Mr. Scotty No Belt.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Rudo Nation. How's it going? Hey, Jay. How are you doing?
Scotty, I'm doing well. I'm getting ready. I'm gearing up. I love summer. It's nice getting to spend some time outside. And I know you spent a little time outside, but safely, right? In terms of your health and everything. And you and the Northern Belle celebrated a birthday last week, right?
Yeah. We went out and about in our little neighborhood. We went and sat outside on a patio, nowhere near anyone else, and had a couple cocktails and some cheese and charcuterie. And then we went to another place and got dinner, and all outside, all very finely distanced from anyone else. So hopefully we followed the rules and everything will be okay. But it was nice. It felt good to be kind of a normal person again, or at least pretend to be for a little bit. And so it was good. Sorry I missed the show, but
hey,
you guys did just fine without me.
I mean, you really gotta do that for your mixed tag partner. And
yeah.
And so let me ask you. This is a little bit of a personal question here. I'm going to ask you, Scotty, but I think Rudo Nation deserves to know. Did you get the Northern Belle a free subscription to your OnlyFans as her birthday present?
Not yet, but I've got some. I still have to finish some of the setup on it.
All right.
But after I do that, yeah, she's going to be subscriber number one.
Subscribe. All right. Onlyfans.com/Scotty No Belt. It'll be we'll start plugging it more when you get it up and running. When you get some content on there.
There we go.
All right. Well, the other man I'm bringing in, Scotty, he coined himself a new nickname last week, and let's see if it sticks. I gave him one. Let's try this one first. The Northern Beau, Steve.
It's all right.
It's
passable, Jay. I can live with that one.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna have to keep working.
You have to keep. All right.
I will say though, I appreciate that you've officially named our podcast trio, the Triangulo del Rudo.
Triangulo del Rudo, yes. Yes.
All
right.
Yeah.
So Steve, all right, Scotty, let's try the other nickname. This one Steve came up with himself last week. All right, let's try Stevie One Belt.
I mean, if you think that works for you, go for it. I mean,
look, I'm just saying, you had to move me up to the second chair, and I can't be a downgrade, so I have to be an upgrade.
He needed a nickname
because
he took the second chair. Yeah. Well, Steve, you know what? I've actually I've asked somebody for some advice on your nickname, and we'll see. I'll let you know. I've put some feelers out there for ideas on a possible nickname for you.
All right, I'm concerned officially.
Well, you have every right to be.
Did you tell them where I live?
I don't know. I mean, to really get a good nickname, you need to understand somebody. So this person, I mean, they may be watching you to learn more about you, but it would only be to give you a better nickname, a better quality nickname.
And in their own eyes.
Yeah, I think in all of our eyes, in everyone's eyes.
Yeah, all right.
Well, gentlemen.
If you say so, Jay.
Gentlemen, this week, I mean, my head has been spinning. I have barely been able to keep up with everything going on. We have so much to talk about today. I mean, we're going to talk about speaking out. We're going to talk about the bad three-letter company's COVID outbreak. We're going to talk New Japan Cup. We're going to talk AEW Dynamite. We're going to talk AEW Fyter Fest. I mean, there is so much to go over in the wrestling world. I mean, I think this might be one of the most like packed weeks when it comes to everything in the wrestling world, whether it's news and breaking news and all of this just crazy like promotions closing, wrestlers getting fired. I mean, you've got the outbreak with the bad three-letter company. You've got New Japan making its return. I mean, my head is just exploding right now.
Yeah, and you didn't even get to like my major conspiracy theories or anything, which we'll talk about in a sec.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't even put the tinfoil hat on, and I've already got all of that to work with. So, yeah. I mean, well, first off, let's start speaking out. And this is a tough subject to talk about. I mean, none of us are women. So, I only want to kind of gloss over it just because I feel like I can't do this subject justice, I think, without having a female voice, right? So I don't want to dive into it. So much has gone on, and I don't feel like us as men like have we have seen things come out from male wrestlers, but I don't know. I want to hear like I want to get a female voice on the podcast to talk about this with us in the next few weeks. So I think it's better to have that kind of perspective. That being said, I mean we've just seen so much, and I mean we've seen multiple promotions are now closing because of accusations. I mean, bar wrestling, big in the Southern California indie scene. Chikara, I mean they were at one time the super indie on the East Coast in the late 2000s, early 2010s. I mean Joey Ryan. I mean the whole list goes on, right?
It's been a, honestly, it's one of those things like when I started seeing or understanding what was happening, because there's a lot of stuff happening in this world, and I was like, oh, I get what this is about, and I was just like, wow, it's kind of sad because I was like, I guess if you're gonna put it out there now, like I get it. It's just that, yeah, there's probably way more stories we haven't even heard. People who just thought it was normal or acceptable. And it's really not good. I mean, it's of course not good at all, but like I'm glad that some people felt like they could actually come forward and talk about it. And hopefully, these are things that we need to fix in the industry, in every industry really. So yeah, it is good. It's just really, it just sounds,
it's long overdue.
It's really long. Yeah, it's long overdue. It's really a shame that it took this long.
I mean,
people had to go through this, right?
I mean, this has been. This stuff probably goes back to like. I mean, you can even go back and look probably back to the frickin' carnival days. This type of behavior, right?
I mean, I would say, and potentially on carnivals now, right? Like, there's just, like it's just like, yeah, actually. In industries where people are traveling like this, and I don't know, it just seems like it appears that there's lots of stories. I mean,
well, and I think it's more of like the
rock stars.
Yeah, and I think
how you.
Well, and you talk about like being on the road, right? The whole being on the road thing. Just the people, just like the whole setup, right? I mean, you've got all these wrestlers often staying in the same hotels and things like that. Like, but I mean, I think the point I want to get to is that this has been going on for so long. We know it has. I mean, we know the Fabulous Moolah, all of the stuff that was involved with her. I mean, you've got...
Exactly.
You want to look at Mildred Burke, right? Mildred Burke, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Not just one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And she was blackballed from the business because she was divorcing her husband, and he was like cheating and stuff, and I think he may have been abusive. I can't remember off the top of my head what the full details of that were, but she was in a terrible, toxic relationship with her manager, was her husband, and then she finally got away from that situation, and they blackballed her from the territories for it. I mean, like, and that's like the 50s. That's 70 fucking years ago. I mean, like, this is insane. Like, I don't know. It frustrates me so much. I mean, like the camera's shaking because I'm pounding my goddamn desk. Got me. Yeah, I'm fired up. But I mean, like, I don't know. It's hard to even put into words. But I am happy that there is finally more visibility, more transparency. That this is a sign that they are going in, that it's a change in wrestling culture, right? The culture of silence, the culture of looking the other way. I mean, we're just talking about the people who see what goes on and don't say anything about it. Then you've got the culture of harassment. I mean, right? That's common in many workplaces, unfortunately, and now these wrestlers are coming out and they're not afraid to talk about it. They're not afraid to say something and to bring light to it and make it visible. And that needs to be encouraged. I mean, because these people in power have been using that power, using that leverage to silence anybody who might come out and report these things and make them public, right?
You said it, man. I agree. These are changes and things that needed to be changed that are long overdue.
I know, Steve, Scotty and I've gone on. I got real fired up about this. I got real fired up. I want to give you a chance to weigh in, Steve.
Yeah, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
God, this sucks. It's another reminder not to hold people on pedestals, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's a bunch of, it's another big, and this is a big group, but it's a big group of artists producing content, and a number of them producing content that we enjoy very specifically. And especially when it's like characters, when it's people playing characters, right? It feels like there's bits of them that go into the character. It feels even worse than, say, other pieces. Like, and it's not really, because everybody who makes art puts a piece of them in their art, but especially like with an actor or a wrestler, it's them, it's their face, it's everything about them kind of put out there. So many characters are like yourself turned up to 11. Joey Ryan is kind of the perfect example of that, right?
Yeah.
Surprise, the guy who does the boob plex and the dick flip spot,
the sleazy gimmick,
a sleazy sex pest, and it's like,
yeah,
it's hiding in plain sight in some respects. And
it's not just that. I mean, that we've seen the abuse that has come out. I mean, the endemic abuse, the accusations of what's gone on in like Chikara, for example. I mean, Chikara, they were, as I mentioned before, at one time the premier independent wrestling promotion on the East Coast. I mean, they were like the indie darling, so to speak. Maybe not the premier, maybe not the highest grossing, but they were the indie darling. They were like the PWG of the East Coast, and Mike Quackenbush had a hand in training a number of wrestlers out there. I mean, you look at just the guys on the AEW roster, right? Multiple wrestlers there. And then yeah.
Sammy Guevara has been suspended. Jimmy Havoc is ostensibly in rehab, right? And those are just the two like confirmed ones that they've done something about. There's been credible accusations against Justin Roberts, especially, has been one of the big ones that just hasn't really been commented on.
Yeah. There was something that came out where somebody said something about Colt Cabana.
There's been a lot, just a lot.
It's too much. It's too much to even. Yeah. So I mean, I guess it's just I'm happy that there's more visibility and there's more transparency. I'm frustrated that it's taken this long, and I feel terrible for the people who've been victims of this shit. I mean, it's exploitation. It's awful. It's just, I don't know, it frustrates me and pisses me off to no end.
Let's
Here.
We can push things back up slightly and just, again, not that we're the best people to try to silver lining something like this, but I just, it's seeing the support is nice.
Yeah, there's been a lot of support. And it's a lot. Thank you, Steve. It's very technico of you to bring up something positive.
Okay, don't do the language, Jay. Come on, this is a very serious subject.
All right. No, but seriously, it is a really good point, and I'm glad that you did bring that that positivity.
I don't want to linger on that because it's not my place to say, oh, it feels good. I'm not gonna do that. It's not my spot. I did just want to call it out and be like, thank you for supporting these people, especially the people that are doing it publicly, the women that are helping each other out, especially. And the one thing I did see that I wanted to specifically call out was, I guess she's a former wrestler at this point. I believe she's done wrestling, but does other work. Portia Perez. She put up a tweet and basically a public call to any company anywhere that wants either problematic commentary or commentary from problematic people or commentary that is itself problematic, and basically just here's a bunch of people I've got. Let us re-commentate your stuff because this shouldn't be out there. You shouldn't leave this stuff out there. Let's get rid of it. Wrestling doesn't need it.
No.
Yeah, I think that's a really great point, and I can think back to a lot of wrestling and wrestling commentary from when I was much, when we were all younger. That was really, really degrading and not so good.
Yeah. I mean, you go back and look at some of those old matches and it's tough, but yeah. All right. Well, let's move on. I know like I said, it's hard. I get pissed off and I rant about it, but even then I still feel like I need to, I want to hear what a woman thinks about this, a wrestling fan. So let me see if I can get somebody on, a future guest, and we can get a woman's perspective on this, because I feel like from us, there's only us as men. I don't know. I would like to hear some other side of it. So
time to promote voices.
Exactly. All right. More news. The Bad 3-Letter Company. We kind of, I think, brushed on this a couple weeks ago, where they had to test their employees. They had to test the wrestlers and people coming in because there was a report of a COVID outbreak. Well, I think now we are understanding more of the extent. It appears that a number of people have been tested positive for COVID. I think it was Renee Young, Caleb Braxton, I think Adam Pearce. I believe they all posted on Twitter that they had COVID. So, and there's more apparently, according to Meltzer. I think he said he heard anywhere from double digits to maybe a couple dozen, as much as a couple dozen. He didn't give an exact number, but so I don't know. It sounds like this is a serious issue. I mean, you look at what has happened, and again, according to Meltzer, they're still going to try to tape tomorrow and Friday. I mean, sorry, tomorrow. Today and Friday. Today's Thursday, so Thursday and Friday.
Like giving up the secrets of when we record.
Yeah. Sorry. Ooh,
Dating the podcast.
breaking kayfabe.
You mean we don't get together and record it live every time someone wants to fire it up on their phone?
On
Damn
demand
it.
podcast
Yeah,
recording.
on demand, we just jump up together. Like you go to our YouTube channel, we're like, we just start texting each other. We're like, dude, we gotta get there. We have like 10 seconds.
No. I mean,
Shit,
Scotty,
Jeremy is online. Somebody named Jeremy watching, that would have been really good.
Scotty, you need time to look that good, man. You need to prep and prepare and
That dragon's hat.
the
and
dragon's
the
hat, cowboy
shirt.
shit shirt.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, the stuff about WWE and the outbreak. I mean,
Well,
they. Oh, I said it. Oh darn.
that's fine.
Caught me, Steve. Keeping me honest. But seriously, like they didn't allow masks for people in the crowd or employees, and for those on camera. And it's like, okay, well, you like just eliminated one of the main safeguards you could have. I mean, if you have these people in close quarters for any period of time without a mask, I mean, the risk of transmission, that's the highest. Indoors, close quarters, no mask. That's your highest risk of transmission.
Well, and you just need one person to come in and it spreads, and before you know it, you have yourself a nice little outbreak. And not only that, you start outbreaking and infecting other wrestling organizations, which is just not cool.
Oh, yeah. I mean, John Moxley, we'll talk about this later with Fyter Fest, but I think now it's probably looking like he is not going to be able to defend his title at night 2 of Fyter Fest against Brian Cage. Now, that had been announced as a match, but you would have to imagine that he is going to at least need a week, maybe 2 weeks of isolation just to be on the safe side. And even more if he ends up testing positive.
I think I did see that he tested negative so far, but he's going to stay in isolation, and he would have, 13 days, right? At least from when the news was reported. So I'd say he still has an outside shot.
Yeah. Well, apparently you need what is it? You need a week you're supposed to give it a week for symptoms to before you go get the test, like at least 3 days, I think. Usually three to a week. So I think that's what they tell you for COVID testing. I don't know, maybe I'll go get one and find out. You can if you think you've been exposed, I had somebody spit in my face when I was running the other day, so I am gonna go get one. But that was not a fun situation. But if you think you've been exposed, go get tested. It should be free, depending on your local area. Anyways, Scotty, I mean, not wearing masks, now this is affecting other wrestling organizations. I mean, just the total carelessness on behalf of Bad Three Letter Company management. What do you think?
I think it makes a lot of sense for the wrestlers who opted out of doing this working during COVID. I feel like WWE, I almost stopped myself. I feel like, they've put their employees in the crossfire, right? Like no way around it, because they're not doing anything to actually try to protect them. If they're not doing the testing and people aren't wearing masks, it's like, all right, cool, let's go stand in a room together for a few hours.
Yeah,
with
with no
people
mask.
breathing heavily.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
they're
like
in those little. You saw them in the little enclosed area on the television taping,
yeah,
right? Like on the sides around the ring. They kind of plexiglassed the people into a sort of like a little kind of corral almost, right? And so you now are, it's like being up against the boards at a hockey rink, right? Like you're all kind of crowding around the boards at a hockey rink, and
I just, like I'm sure somebody thought, hey, we'll put these up and it'll show like we're protecting the wrestlers, and then let's cram people into those really confined spaces where they're going to be cheering and yelling and breathing a lot. Also, like they're going to go sit in the locker room together, shower together. I guess like what I mean, and I didn't mean shower together in like a naughty way, but like you get done
yeah. Well,
exercising and you hit the showers, right? Like
I mean, a lot of gyms now that are the gyms that are reopening are not allowing showers. They've closed their locker rooms because it's such a high risk of transmission. It's a high
yeah,
risk vector.
and you get into a lot of these different areas and you're like, oh man, I guess we all it was just a matter of time, unfortunately, with how they were trying to do this. Really we've also seen it was just a matter of time for someone from AEW to be impacted by this also.
Well, I mean, they have their testing, right? They do the COVID testing. They have pretty good. I mean, at least they're not say pretty good. I'm gonna walk that back. They have some contact tracing, right? We this week learned that QT Marshall and he and a number of his students, or he was exposed to somebody who was not anything to do with wrestling, just some exposed to somebody who tested positive. And so they basically asked him and all of his students and the people that he works with over at the Nightmare Factory in Georgia to isolate, and they didn't have them on the taping.
So yeah, and that's I think there's I guess my point wasn't that at some point somebody from AEW wasn't gonna be exposed, whether it was Moxley or QT Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
Now their protocols and their organization around it, man, that's the difference between two people that we know of at least and a dozen, right?
Or
Like,
more.
and if there's a dozen, there's probably more.
Yeah. I mean, there's a risk, right? I mean, it's a global pandemic. They know Tony Khan is not an idiot. He understands that there is a risk. There is any risk inherent, whether you're in a wrestling company, whether you're working in an office. I mean, it's just there's a risk of going, if you go anywhere indoors or being around people, you may get COVID. Now they're doing some proactive steps to minimize the risk, but there is still always a risk, right? I mean, something happens, one of those tests fail, right? They're giving those COVID tests. They're not 100%. There may be 1%, 0.5% that are false negatives. I don't know what the statistical rate is exactly, but there's a chance.
Just like using a condom.
Oh wow, Scotty, you
there's that
yes,
that 1% chance that
you
it's
are
not going to do what you want it to do.
There is a chance of failure, just like nothing is certain. So, Steve, what do you think? Did Triple H not spray enough of his magic spray around the performance center to kill the COVID, or what?
The swords were too strong. They stabbed out everybody's ability to resist a virus.
And what we're alluding to is there was some sort of spray that they were using, some sort of surface treatment, and apparently what was the word somebody used from the call? It was like a quote I had seen where it was like a sword that punctures the virus. That was directly from the mouth of Triple H. Apparently.
I mean,
again, so we don't know.
Triple H said it acts like a sword and punctures the cell wall.
It was on a call, right? Was it on a conference call or something where he said that? Or a news media call? I don't know. Anyways.
I mean, sure, but that's what like all of the things, whether it's hot soapy water on your hands, that's kind of what they all do is they pop the virus. So
Yeah.
whatever he's got, it's probably something just like someone else has.
Well, let's wrap this up.
Unless you can try spraying it on the inside.
Oh God. I don't think you're supposed to do that. That's not how it works. Yeah, I mean, are you following the Donald Trump protocol of like trying to sterilize your insides?
No. I'm saying it's if Triple H has something different in his magic spray.
Do you think he like goes around with the water bottle and like pours it in his mouth and sprays it all over the?
That was what Fujita did, right? Was it Fujita?
I don't know.
Someone did it.
Muda. Are you thinking about Muda? Great Muda?
No. The match with the 30-minute stare down. They did the.
Oh yeah. He
was,
chugged
though.
the hand sanitizer. Yeah, it was Kazuyuki Fujita, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up on this point here where we're talking about this going forward. So where the performance center is located, it's Orange County, Florida, not Orange County, California. Orange County, Florida.
Prized Florida.
Prized Florida, and so Orange County, Florida, to some vocal resistance from the local residents, has again, this is news I got from Meltzer listening to the Wrestling Observer. They have a mandatory mask order for being in public spaces or something. And the Bad Three Letter Company, apparently, again, this is according to Meltzer, Bad Three Letter Company believes that they are exempt from that ordinance because they are a quote unquote private facility. So they may not be having those people in that facility wear masks, even though I believe they are testing now everybody who goes on site going forward. So just something to think about. They still don't like the whole mask thing.
Shows weakness, Jay.
Oh God. Oh God.
Hey, I showed you earlier. I got my new mask.
Oh yeah, there you go. That is real Rudo, man. That's a real Rudo mask.
You know what the fucked up thing is?
LA Park style. It's actually very quality. I really am like pretty impressed.
Yeah, well, hey, Scotty, you know what I'm gonna do? We'll give you a shout out. That's from luchamasks.com. And they actually work with Pro Wrestling Revolution, Scotty, here in the Bay Area, the one that we went to in San Jose. So they're actually working with Lucha Masks. And I think Mask Republic, or I can't remember, there was like a site or somebody else is part of it. But yeah, so they have the officially licensed Lucha face coverings, Lucha Masks.
Just one thing before we move on. You know who else sells masks?
Who else?
It's a certain company we just finished talking about.
AEW?
The Bad Three Letter Company.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they do.
They sell masks with their talents like stuff on it.
Yeah. Why aren't they? I mean, they make them wear the stupid T-shirts. Why aren't they wearing the masks?
Just give them out to the fucking people in the crowd. You're taking them back and cleaning them after anyway.
Free advertising. I don't know if you just let them keep the dang mask. They're like $1 or $2 probably.
Yeah, well, they're giving out shirts and not letting them keep those apparently. So
what? They don't let them keep the shirts that they give out?
No. Anyway, that's enough of that, I think.
Oh my God. A company. Oh. All right. Well, let's stop talking about the Bad Three Letter Company. Let's start talking about the good 4-letter company. I'm talking about NJPW. I'm talking New Japan Pro Wrestling. We have been stoked to have NJPW back the past 2 weeks. And this week's slate of matches, we had the right side of the bracket, and then we had the next round, the second round on the left side of the bracket. And we had some big upsets. We had some great matches. We had just couple hard hitting hard-hitting performances and some even some surprising performances over the 3 nights here, night 3, 4, and 5 of the New Japan Cup. Let's just kind of go through and talk about some of our highlights. I mean, Steve, night 3, you know what I'm going to talk about on night 3. You know where I'm going to go. But what was your big highlight of night 3?
I have no idea what you're going to talk about on night 3, man.
You have no idea what I'm going to talk about on night 3, not at all.
I think the thing we're both going to talk about is on night 3, man. But mine's the main event, and yours isn't.
Yeah, no, it's not actually. There were two big upsets on night 3, and
moderate upsets.
Oh, come on. I thought Show over Shingo was a big upset.
I agree. That was definitely a surprise, I thought.
Yeah, I mean that match. Oh, that was a good.
You know what this means, right?
What?
Sho is a better wrestler than Kenta.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Sho beat Shingo, and Shingo beat Goto, and Goto beat Kenta.
So by the
and like in recent history, right?
Yeah.
I'm just going by recent history.
Oh yeah,
I think reset basically, but since Wrestle Kingdom, right?
Yeah, you're right. You do have a logical backup for your argument there. Well, let's talk about Sho versus Shingo first. I mean, this was hard hitting and fast paced. I mean, you look at the style here, right? We've got a good variety of styles here. Just in the first few matches of the New Japan Cup, right? We saw the Suzuki Nagata match, very much a traditional 80s old school Inoki Dojo hard hitting heavyweight match. And then we got something still hard hitting, not exactly heavyweight, but both of these guys, Sho and Shingo, having a lucha background. Shingo coming out of Dragon Gate, being trained there, a heavily lucha influenced promotion. Sho having done his excursion with Yo over in CMLL. And these guys put on one hell of a match. I mean, Scotty, what did you think?
This was really good. Again, the finish I thought was really good. Totally surprised me, and I really enjoyed what can I say? I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was really great.
The announcers lost their shit when Yo was getting the shock arrow in.
I mean, because he had done like the little cross-armed
pile driver, yeah,
pile driver, and I was like, oh shit. Actually, even earlier, I thought when there was a moment where I thought Shingo had it, he had hit Made in Japan,
yeah,
and then followed it up with one of his other moves. I forget which one, and I was like, yeah, that's it. That's what I expected to happen, and that was not what happened.
No, and Steve, what did you think about Sho standing toe to toe with Shingo? And Sho was throwing some hefty lariats. I mean, we know Shingo's got one of the best lariats in all of wrestling, and one of the best lariats in New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's certainly saying something. Sho went toe to toe with him, and Sho was whipping some of those lariats like you heard. That was beef when he was smacking him, man. That was just the sound of flesh colliding.
There's been a lot of lariats in this tournament, right?
It's a New Japan tournament. Of course, there's a lot of lariats.
I guess. This match is making me feel weird. When we talked about it last week, and you were like, "Oh yeah, I think Sho's going to be Shingo." When I thought about it, I was fine with it. That makes sense. It's fine, totally reasonable for them to do. And then I watched it happen, and I was like, I don't think I liked this. Not the match. The match was great, but just the idea of the finish and the way it plays into like a later thing. Because I kind of knew the results before watching some of the stuff, at least the 2 nights. Or the entire first round, essentially. So I was like, this is kind of sitting weird with me. it feels weird to me that this feels like the start of the junior to heavyweight push for show, because that's usually what they do. Is
We saw it with
they have
Osprey.
them
We saw it with
some
Osprey
heavyweight-
last year.
and Shingo himself.
Yeah.
I mean, in my heart, I know it's basically just we wanted to do an open weight challenge with somebody interesting. This is the best option we probably had in the meantime. Like, we need to get a match for probably the finals. I'm assuming they'll probably have a match for the Never title on the final show.
Yeah. Safe assumption.
Yeah, and I'm just like, this feels weird to me, and I don't know why, and it shouldn't, but like, Show winning this match stands out to me, and it was made to be that way. It's an upset, but it for some reason it
doesn't sit right. Doesn't sit.
yeah, and I don't know why, and I don't dislike Show or anything, so I'm having trouble sussing out why exactly I feel that way, but I think I kind of just wanted to see more Shingo matches.
Maybe. I think a lot of people. Well, you know what it is? No, I know what it is. I know what's gnawing at your subconscious here. That why you can't be 100% with this result. You want to see Sonata Shingo singles match. That's what you want.
I mean, I'd be happy with that. Yeah, honestly,
I think you subconsciously want that Sonata Shingo match, and that's what's keeping you from being fully on board.
I feel like you're saying this to make fun of me.
I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm being totally serious.
Okay.
Like,
yeah, there's something about the LIJ interfaction stuff is pretty interesting, so that might be it.
I think we're gonna get it. I think we're gonna get that match this year, and I think we're gonna get it at the G1. I'm gonna put that down. Put somebody.
Get them in the same block.
Yeah, we're gonna get them in the same block, and we're gonna see Shingo versus Sonata this year in the G1.
Does that mean you think they're gonna put Naito and Evil in the other block?
Yeah. I guess that would. I mean, heck, they may put. Well, I don't know. They've put Evil and Sonata were in the same block last year, weren't they?
That's correct.
Yeah. So no, I could see that. I could see Naito and Evil being in the same block. That'd be fun. That's not a match I think that we've seen a ton of. But yeah, that's where I'm going. I'm making a prediction for the G1 already. We're gonna see Sonata and Shingo in the same block.
All right, write it down.
Write it down.
Record.
Write it
Mark
down.
it.
Mark it. All right. Well, I did like, so we talked about the finish of the match. I really like Show. He gets the Kimura, right? We see that says mixed martial arts background that he has. Gets the Kimura, gets control, and then he used that Kimura and like transitioned, kept the arm captured, and then hit that cross arm pile driver that Scotty mentioned. And then he got him up for Shock Arrow. And like, the thing is, Shock Arrow, it just has such like a long setup where he's got to like pull the guy's arms through his own legs, so it's very dramatic. I mean, I saw him try to do it unsuccessfully against who was it? Phantasmo live when they were battling for the title.
The thinnest man in the company.
And Osprey.
Like after Zach.
Well, and Osprey. He when he lost against Osprey in the Super J Cup, I was at that match. That was a good one. So
you know what else I think made me feel weird about this? Show kicking out of Last of the Dragons. I don't know why.
No, he kicked out of Made in Japan, not Last of the Dragon.
Right. Made in Japan, and
he kicked out of Made in Japan.
Not Last of the Dragon. No.
And then a Pumping Bomber after that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like they were showing these two guys as equals even throughout the match. Like, this wasn't Show stealing a win. Like, it wasn't that kind of upset, right? It was very much an even match where he won. And I think that's part of why I feel weird about it, because it feels like the power levels just got slammed together all of a sudden.
Yeah. I see what you're thinking here. I see what you're thinking, but again, I think rest easy. You'll get your Sonata Shingo matchup soon enough. But I want to talk about the other upset. The upset I believe we all predicted here 2 weeks ago when we were looking at these matchups. That's Taichi the Holy Emperor getting a victory over the ace Tanahashi in a very I want to set the stage here for this. I feel like this might be Taichi's one of his biggest wins in his in his New Japan run as a heavyweight. I think more than the title win. What do you think?
I'm, it kind of is, but it's also kind of the Tanahashi story that they're telling right now, which is that he's after 2018 into 2019 or whatever it was, for 2019 into 2020, right? Was that this year?
Yeah.
Oh, it was last year. No, it must have been last
Oh,
year.
you're talking
right?
about the G1 win?
Yeah, the G1 win must have been 2018.
That was
'cause, like,
2018.
Kenny
Yeah.
Omega and,
Yeah, he faced Omega.
Right. Of course, obviously. But ever since then, the story has been he's breaking down too much to be main event anymore, right? And I listened to English commentary for this match because I watched it a day later, and Kevin Kelly basically brought that up explicitly, like, well, he's broken down, and they've been running the broken down story for a long time, but this is the point where he is losing to people, and people that you may not expect, and this is sort of introductory to that, right?
Losing in the first round, no less.
Oh, yeah, I wonder if this is his first time. I wonder how long it's been
Since a first round Tana exit. Yeah, we'll have to look that up. That's an interesting statistic. When was the
he
last?
Seems like the kind of guy where they might put him against high level people in round one for interesting matches. So I wouldn't be super surprised if it's happened before.
Yeah. Did Zach, when Zach won the New
No,
Japan?
that was like the quarterfinals or something.
I was like, okay. Yeah, I do remember him beating the Ace again with that broken down storyline. But I want to talk a little bit about Taichi here, right? We've seen Taichi's heavyweight run. He's a more motivated, much more violent. But he came into this match focused and with a game plan, right? Because against Naito, in those matches that he had for the Intercontinental title match, he messed Naito up, man. He went at him hard, but he was trying to make an example out of Naito, I think, from their old feud, their long running feud. And in this one, he didn't really try to make an example of the Ace. He just tried to beat him.
Yeah, I just want to interject really quickly because I looked it up. We'll get made fun of if I don't fix this, I think. Zack versus Tanahashi was the finals of that tournament.
Oh, okay. I do remember it being a big victory for Zack. It's hard to think, like, our sense of time is totally fucked right now. Like, it's hard to remember anything.
Tapped out the Ace, boo.
Tapped out the Ace. And Taichi, he picked the Ace apart in this matchup, right? I mean, he beat him. Brutalized him. I mean, those kicks, the attack on the outside, and then the X factor that we didn't really take into account when we were picking this upset, the X factor of Doki in this match.
Why was Jado in the tournament? Doki was here.
He's right there. Why? and Doki, he played a really pivotal role in this match because there was, not the little kind of beating Tana up on the outside in the beginning, right? Nah, whatever. It's just kind of standard Suzuki-gun stuff. But Tanahashi hit Taichi with the high fly flow attack, the high fly flow crossbody. Taichi's down, Taichi's on the mat, and Tana goes up for the follow-up high fly flow. And he's won a ton of matches by hitting the crossbody, right? And then going up and hitting the regular high fly flow to follow it up. And he goes to the corner to get up for the frog splash, the high fly flow, and Doki is there and cuts him off and prevented him. And that, I mean, because he may have had the match won at that point. Right?
It's true, and having your pal out there to help you out, man, it can always be a big difference. You mentioned even the double teaming they did on him before the match ever started, where they just wailed on him for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, having your second out there, this was a big moment. I hope this doesn't hurt Miho Abe's employment chances.
Oh,
right.
Poor Miho.
now, like, look, Doki helped him get his biggest win ever. Where was she?
That's true. That's true. And Steve, what did you think about Taichi's? Right, we talked. You gave your thoughts on the ace breaking down. What about Taichi? Taichi's story coming out of this match now. He did what many. Well, I wouldn't say many thought would be impossible. Maybe what would have been impossible 2 or 3 years ago, he pulled it off.
The rehab of Taichi has been a long time coming. So there's a reason we predicted it, right? It wasn't that out of nowhere. This wasn't a young lion versus the ace. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can buy this. You can buy this. And Tanahashi is one half of the tag team champions. So that's the level he's being presented at right now, I think. Like, he is the weak link of that tag team.
At this point, I think you'd have to say so. I mean, with Ibushi, yeah, Tana's the weak link. Ibushi's a robot. He's a wrestling cyborg.
Maybe literally.
I don't know. I mean, only science knows, and none of us are scientists. So there you go. Well, Ibushi is going to be facing Taichi in the next round. We've already seen Taichi in some of these multi-mans later on and some of the other nights go after Ibushi's neck. So maybe, I mean, he went after the ace's knee in that lead up to the first round match. Now he's going after Ibushi's neck.
Oh, you just made a really good point, Jay. Who in his round after that would have a notable injury in their history?
Oh, let's see. Now it's a very interesting one. You've got Sho and he would face, let's see, if Taichi beats Ibushi, let's play a little hypothetical here.
Yep.
Taichi beats Ibushi. So then he would face the winner of Sonata and Sho, and I could see him beating either of them. I don't feel like that is out of the realm of possibility.
Does Sonata have like a perennial injury that he always has?
No, I don't think so.
The ribs or something?
Is that maybe? Oh, it was from a while ago. I don't know. And then he would face the winner coming out of the bottom right hand of the bracket. So
Yoshihashi.
Are you gonna put that in? Let's put a little prediction on it.
It's gonna be Goto, Jay.
You're thinking Goto coming out of that bottom right bracket?
It could be Evil too. I'm pretty even on Evil and Goto. I could see doing the Evil Sonata rematch from the G1 as the semifinals. Like, I'd buy that.
I'm looking at everybody in the right bracket. I think, like you said, even if you get Evil or Goto in there, I think Taichi can beat either of them. If they're coming out of that bottom right hand corner of the bracket, that means that would be Taichi winning in the semifinals. We could see Taichi in the finals.
We could. I don't think we will, but we could.
Yeah. I mean, the upset, if he beats Kota and Sonata, I mean, that is one hell of a run. I mean, we said it before, that top right hand of the bracket that Taichi's in is certainly the group of death in this tournament. So
I think he's got a shot.
You think I think he's got a shot too. And I don't think it's that far fetched. I don't know. We'll see. I gotta admit, after seeing Sonata's title challenge, unsuccessful title challenge live against Okada at Ryogoku Sumo Hall last year, I'm not a big Sonata fan. I used to really like Sonata. I was rooting for him very hard. There was a young child about the age of 12 in front of me who was counter cheering me for Okada. It was very fun. And I was getting counter cheered by a 12-year-old, and Sonata lost. So I'm a little bitter about that Sonata. Well, night 3, 2 big upsets. Night 4 had an upset that we didn't pick. Bushi getting a win over Yo. None of us had put that on our upset pick list.
Yeah. So that's the other half of why I feel weird. I feel like if I was putting this tournament together, I would have had Yo lose to Shingo and Sho beat Bushi, and not the other way around.
Yeah, I would have had both Roppongi 3K advance, and then
Yeah.
because then you get I guess you get Yoshihashi Yo. I don't know. I if anything, I would have put Yo in through and then had Yo up against Evil or Goto. I think that would be a fun, interesting match. Yeah.
You know what's also weird? Shingo's the only LIJ member that lost in the first round.
Ooh, that's a good point. I mean, even
It's very strange.
Yeah. I mean, if you had anybody taking a surprise first round loss,
I would have
that
picked Evil probably.
yeah.
Evil losing to Kojima is like weird, but then Kojima loses to Goto. Like you could see that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's certainly Taguchi over Sonata is not at all plausible, but
That's not going to happen. I don't think Hiromu's not going to lose to who did he even face?
Hanma.
I don't remember. It was Hanma, yeah. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we had that upset. Then we got I think what may have been the surprise of the first round, not upset, but the surprise as far as match quality, Yoshihashi versus Tenzan. I mean, I never thought I would be ever singling out a Yoshihashi match to talk about for surprising quality, but here I am.
versus a New Japan dad.
Versus a New Japan dad versus Tenzan. And
the funny bit is, right, that we're praising this, and this is like what, a 3.5 star, 4-star match, maybe at best. Like the match was fine, but we did not expect fine.
No, we expected a throwaway, forgettable match, and these two came at it. I mean, we seen Yoshihashi. I watched one of the interviews with him. He said he'd been lifting a lot of weights during his time in quarantine. And he comes in, Yoshihashi looks like he's in damn good shape. He looks like he's put on 5 to 10 pounds of muscle. I mean, Steve, is Yoshihashi now a body guy?
Well, when you gas as quickly as he did, I guess you're a body guy, yeah.
Ouch. That's Rudo, man.
They were both sucking wind pretty quick, but they just like paced the down spots pretty well, so it never really came to the forefront. But every time I saw one of their faces, they were sucking.
Yeah, they were feeling it on that one, man. That oof.
Yeah, I mean, when you go outside and you're running around a lot, like that's how you blow yourself up, right? Doing a bunch of running around.
Yeah. So they still put on a good match, and I like I said, I don't think any of us thought we'd be singling out a Yoshihashi match for surprising quality, but here we are. And then I mean, Evil Kojima, I thought that was fun. That was a good beefy match. And then night five, another great night here. We got another Ishii match. I mean, we Ishii in a tournament match. I mean, it's just it's going to be great. And he and Makabe just again had a very much like Suzuki and Nagata in the first round, had an old school New Japan hard hitting heavyweight match.
I thought they had some crazy stuff when they actually got up on the top turnbuckle and we're gonna when Makabe, he like belly to belly suplexed Ishii off the top rope. Ishii hits the canvas and rolls and just turns around and is like I was like, yeah, this is on right here.
Yeah, Ishii was just like, whatever, no biggie.
He's like, that feels good.
So, yeah, I mean, these guys, Ishii just started blasting him with the throat chops early on. That's when you know it's going to be a good one. When Ishii starts chopping people in the fucking throat in the first like 5 or 10 minutes, you know shit's getting real. And like I always get this like really visceral reaction whenever I see Ishii chop somebody in the throat, right? Like I just kind of like, like, cause it just looks so gnarly. Like, Steve, can you imagine anything worse than getting fucking whacked in the throat by Ishii and his like calloused ass forearm?
Yes. The answer is getting hoofed in the balls.
Oh yeah.
Taichi.
By Taichi. With those kicks, man. Taichi, he's got those educated feet, right?
If you ever want to reproduce.
Yeah. Ooh. Poor poor Tana. Thankfully he's already got a couple kids, I think. So here we go. I mean, this was just brutal. I mean, the end of this match, I mean, Ishii hit a lariat that I thought he caught Makabe in the jaw. You could it sounded like flesh on bone. I thought I heard his jaw clack or something, but I mean, he wears that mouth guard, so probably a good thing in this circumstance. And you got Ishii whacking you in the mouth with a lariat. Ooh. Got him with the brain buster after that. Toru Yano versus Hiromu. I mean,
yeah, this match was awesome. This was super fun.
This is the match of the tournament.
The match of the tournament, Steve. Are you?
I
Wow.
will hear no arguments. Don't at me.
Don't at him. Well, I gotta say, I mean, coming into this match, right? We saw Yano brandishing some haircut equipment, right? I mean, Yano probably, during quarantine had to invest in a home haircut kit, right? I mean, like many of us did. I did. I bought one online because, I'm having La Ruda cut my hair. So he just figured, hey, I got to get my money's worth out of this, and was trying to give Hiromu a haircut.
He's such a swell guy for helping his buddy who, he hasn't been able to get his hair cut either because of the COVID.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. I mean, Steve, was that a runner-up for Technico Move of the Week?
No. No.
I didn't think about that angle, Scotty. Well, Hiromu, having lost his hair in Mexico in CMLL to Maximo Sexy back, I believe it was 2015, maybe 2016. I can't recall exactly, but yeah, he has been shaved bald before. So I think that explains his strong reaction, his phobia to the hair clippers and scissors brandished by Yano.
This was a match that was a battle of man versus a fear.
Man versus fear
Of having this.
That's
this
funny.
was like.
You know how I describe it, Scotty?
Huh.
Man versus machine.
Man versus.
You have the clippers. You have the lights turning on as they escape. You have the finish.
Oh yeah, I mean it is definitely man versus machine towards the end. So in this match, right, where these two guys, they've got the fear, they've got men, fear, machines, sharp objects. The thing is, this match did not stay in the ring for very long. And actually, most of it happened outside of the ring. And these guys battled all over Korakuen Hall.
Yeah, you got a nice little tour of Korakuen Hall there. I mean, so not something we really see New Japan doing, where they go out into the concourse, right? I don't think we ever see that, do we? They usually stay within the arena itself.
So I believe that was where Zach put Fale when he got him counted out in the G1 last year. They like went out into the concourse and then he submissioned him down to his knees and ran back. I think that may have been there. I know that Stardom used to use it a lot. They would go out there pretty often, and I definitely remember. I think it was the Hiromu and Ishimori finals. I think used it. I think that was in this building.
I thought they stayed on the entrance, or they stayed on like the.
You might be right.
Yeah, where they were in like that the little walkway that separates the two levels, like the upper and lower level there.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I gotta go back and find my Kodokan video. I took a video from inside there when they were taking down the ring for Stardom.
However, I'm pretty sure we haven't seen in quite a while, or maybe ever.
No. Yeah. Yeah. So, Scotty, what did you think about the use of the elevator?
I thought it was genius. I mean, only after we saw Yano go back to the three-legged race.
The bit, yeah.
Tape two people's feet together.
Tape it to a young lion, no less, again, right? Just like Mox with Shooter last year.
Yeah, it was kind of like a callback. Even though they were taped together, unlike Mox and Shooter, they were able to get a little revenge on Toro here, and battled him back into the aforementioned little corridor by the elevator. And I was kind of like, what in the world is about to happen? The elevator opens, and then to see Hiromu not only tape Yano's hands together, but then also put tape around his head to cover his eyes. I was like, oh, that is pretty serious. And then they shoved him in the elevator and hit the down button. Like that right there is how you earn the count out victory, right?
Now, Scotty, I gotta ask you because there have been some serious Rudo moves this week. Was that the Rudo move of the week?
I don't think so. It was really good though.
Okay, but what is it? Was it in your? Did it make your final list of consideration for Rudo move of the week?
Oh, this is definitely a finalist.
Okay,
like for damn sure. So Rudo, such a great Rudo move too. I mean the extra touch of taping around the eyes, even he's gonna have trouble getting out of that elevator.
It's not gonna be easy. How can you operate an elevator like that? Tough when you can't. When he's being blindfolded like that, yeah, wow. And I mean, don't forget, we saw Hiromu come into this match right with that hard hat, trying to protect himself from the haircut, but Yano still got a chunk of his hair. He got a lock of his hair in this match. Don't forget. I mean, he had Yano had Hiromu down. Did a little snippy snip, clipped a little souvenir.
Very Rudo, also.
Well, you know what would be the most Rudo thing? This would be the most Rudo thing, and it would be so fucking much like Yano to do it. Yano Toru, he takes the individual hairs and he packages them with his DVD and sells them for more, telling the fans they get a little Hiromu hair with their DVD purchase, huh?
Authentic Hiromu hair.
Hiromu hair. I mean, if there's going to be a way to make money off it, it's going to be Yano. I mean, when I went to the event in Sumo Hall last year, they were selling Yano's curry. He has like a signature line of Japanese curry sauce for cooking, and they were selling it outside. He had like it was like a poster of him in a chef's outfit. The man, what I'm saying, the man is an entrepreneur. The man knows how to make some money.
That's right.
Well, speaking of money, speaking of dollar bills, y'all, the main event, night 5, Okada versus Nagata. Yuji Nagata having that surprise. I wouldn't know if it was a surprise, but definitely a little bit of an upset in the first round, taking out Suzuki. And then he brought it to Okada in this match. I mean, we saw him just pound Okada for a good portion of this.
Yeah, I think maybe Okada took Nagata just a little too lightly early on, and I probably did too. I mean, he's an older gentleman, and Okada's the best in the biz, but man, Nagata came out swinging.
Swinging and kicking.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
Okada,
yeah,
he tried to,
figuratively swinging.
yeah, he tried to get that Cobra clutch in a little earlier, right? He tried to get his new well, I guess he used it a little bit last year, but his submission. And I mean, he didn't have a great Cobra clutch in initially. And I mean, the guy's a skilled grappler coming out of the Inoki dojo. Those guys were legit, many of them legit mixed martial artists. So he turned that into the omoplata crossface, the little variant on the label lock. Daniel Bryan uses a variant for the yes lock. I thought that was kind of cool. But Nagata had like a side crank on the face, like all the way over to the side in the crossface, and not like more under the chin. It was kind of an interesting variant. But I thought, I'm surprised Nagata tapped. I thought they'd just have him pass out,
Totally. Steve, what did you think about this match?
Steve, what did you think about the Rainmaker here in the second round?
I'm so happy whenever Okada plays heel.
Oh, Rudo Okada is great.
Rudo
Okada. I love it.
Yeah, I enjoyed the match. I was like, hey, this is fun. I'm having fun. This is pretty good. and then a little part in the back of my brain was just like, yeah, but how good would an Okada Suzuki match have been? I'm just like, man, I like Nagata well enough, but I'm not a person with a ton of history in the company and with him. So there's no real nostalgia in my brain for this guy. So I'm just like, I think I would have preferred a Suzuki match. And that's not trying to take away from anything here, because the match was great. And I'm assuming I'm going to get another Okada Suzuki match at some point in the future. Like, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
But unless they leave him out of the G1 again.
Oh, I do you want to be the person who gives Suzuki the news 2 years in a row that he's been left out of the G1?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Specifically, we gave Taichi your spot again.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, you better that's one of those things you just kind of like
do it.
Text him and run away.
If the story is Suzuki getting ousted from his own faction, then like they might do that.
Certainly possible. Well, speaking of possibilities, let's take a look now, because Scotty, you're not going to be able to join us before the final of the tournament, right? So Scotty, bad news, you're going to be gone the next 2 weeks. We may not have an episode next week. We may not. I don't know. It may just be Rudo videos of me while I'm on vacation. Social distancing, of course. Not taking a real vacation. So I don't know. But anyways, because we may not have a show next week, Scotty will not be joining us the following 2 weeks. Let's go ahead and look ahead here and pick our winners for the tournament. Now, we've got the quarterfinals set up on the left side of the bracket. We will quarterfinals will be set up for the right side of the bracket next week. But put your prediction hat on. Maybe even get a little tinfoil in there. I'm gonna go you, Steve. Who do you think?
Oh.
Who do you think? I know I'm putting the burden on you. I'm not making.
You had to put me first.
I'm putting you first, man. I'm putting you on the spot. Who do you got? Who you got winning?
Oh, okay. So our contenders to win this tournament, as it stands right now, are Ishii, Hiromu, Okada, Ishimori, Taichi, Kota Ibushi, Sonata, Sho, Yoshihashi, Bushi, Evil, and Goto. I think I got everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got everybody still left alive in the tournament.
Right. The smart money is probably on Sonata at least making the finals. They've just been doing that weird push with him. But I'm trying to factor in things like they probably don't want to put the biggest drawing match they have on at an event where they're only going to have a third capacity fans.
Yeah.
They probably don't want to use like a rematch from recently. Like I don't think we're going to get a Wrestle Kingdom rematch. Very likely. So I think we're ruling out Okada. I'm ruling out Okada that way. Because like Okada's a really reasonable pick for this.
Yeah.
But I think I'm leaving him out via that method.
And now you're starting to look at something that these are a little more long shot normally, right? A long shot title shot pick, but that's the story.
Might just be the right.
Yeah,
this might just be the right time to do that.
Yeah, that's the story of the New Japan Cup typically, right? You typically see a mid-carder or upper mid-carder get a title shot out of it.
Right. If I was booking this, I think it's a little crazy, but I think I'd do Tomohiro Ishii as the winner. I think I'd have him surprise upset Okada and face somebody, because whoever's coming out of the right bracket is about that level, right? Whether it's like Sonata, Taichi, Goto, Evil, they're all about the same level as Ishii, right? In a tournament context.
Yeah, when you've got Ibushi, right? That is now
Ibushi's the strongest power level left. But I have this feeling Taichi's getting out of that match.
Now, right, so we saw Ibushi Naito a number of times last year.
Yep, that's true as well.
So we did, but it's not as recent as the Wrestle Kingdom run back, right?
No, it's also not as recent as Okada and Sonata, which is kind of the smart money finals.
Yeah. I mean, you get Okada, Ibushi running back, but yeah, you could do that.
Anyway, so in my mind, the smart money is Okada or Sonata. The reasonable spot I think Taichi to the finals is honestly not that ridiculous, and Taichi winning the whole thing is honestly not that ridiculous. But I'm just gonna vote with my heart, and I'm gonna pick Tomohiro Ishii to finally get something, because we're in a situation that makes it work, and I feel like they might use that to, whether or not they see him in that level, this might be the right spot, because it's like, just because you don't necessarily see Ishii at that level as like a main event title holder, you can see that he's popular with some amount of fans.
Yeah.
So
it's a fresh match. And it's a fresh matchup, right?
It's a fresh matchup. It's a fresh matchup that you maybe wouldn't normally main event. I guess like the last time Ishii had a title match was with Kenny Omega main eventing.
Yeah.
Back in like the end of 2018 or something, because he beat him in the G1. And that was good. That was a good match. Got a lot of good press. So
yeah, Ibushi or Ishii. Or well, I'll go next. My heart. I'm listening to my heart. My heart says Hiromu. That's
wild.
That's what my heart says. And
let's just who Hiromu has to beat to make that happen.
I know. I'm just saying Hiromu is where my heart is, but my brain, when my rational brain takes over, I'm in agreement with you, Steve. I think it's going to be Ishii. Actually, I think Ishii.
Oh, don't agree with me.
I'm agreeing with you because that's
far less interesting.
I know, but should I go with my heart or should I go with my brain, Scotty? I mean, this is such a conundrum, right? The eternal question of life, the heart of the brain.
I have an idea, Scotty. Let's go to you. Who do you think? Who are you going to pick?
I am straight up, no bones about it. I'm taking Taichi.
You're going Taichi. You're going Rudo running the table.
I am going all the way on him running the table. Steve, you just said it's not exactly crazy, I actually was thinking, hey, he wins it. He's a good opponent for Naito for Dominion the next night.
That's a
right?
rematch, but their last match wasn't that. I guess it was the G1. Was their last match they had together? And he won that match and never got anything for it.
That's a
right?
good
Like
point.
Taichi won that match, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he got the Intercontinental title shot. Remember
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I'm wrong. You're right.
Yeah, he got the Intercontinental title shot, which he lost.
Yeah. You know what I think is interesting about the idea of a Taichi run in this tournament? They actually front loaded all of his hardest matches. So it's a really interesting story, right? Where it's like he beats Tanahashi, and then if he beats Kota Ibushi, that's his toughest challenge, unless he's meeting Okada in the finals.
Yeah.
Right. But it's like super hard, and then there's almost this inevitability to it where you feel like, oh, he's beat them, and now his opponent's Sonata. Oh, obviously he's going to beat Sonata. He just beat Kota Ibushi
And Tana.
and Tanahashi, and it's like, oh, he beat all these guys. Obviously, he's going to beat Hiroki Goto or Evil or whoever.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna take the long shot. I'm gonna go. Right. So we were promised this match. Right before the outbreak, we were promised Hiromu versus Naito, and Hiromu wanted the heavyweight title on the line as part of that matchup. He was quite clear about that, and I think Hiromu gets it. I'm gonna go with my heart. I'm overriding my brain. I am reaching deep down, and I'm gonna say Hiromu is gonna have a huge upset. I mean, if Hiromu beats Okada, right? So let's just think about this here, because this is the hardest part for me. Isn't really the finals, right? Let's say you have Taichi coming out of the other side of the block, right? I think we've said Taichi or Sonata are both a pretty high probability, but Scotty, you picked it. Steve, you've talked about it. Let's just say, for example, Taichi comes out of the right side of the block. You got Taichi on one side in the finals. Hiromu on the left, he'd have to have a pretty big fucking upset victory over Okada. That's the hard part. That's the big hump there, right? If he beats Okada, I think he could beat Sonata or Taichi, certainly. I mean, that semifinal match of getting over Okada in the left side of the block is really going to be the true test for if you're not getting Okada, it's certainly going to be the true test for Ishii or Hiromu.
Yeah. But we all know that Sonata's winning this tournament, so.
Oh.
We all know it's going to be Sonata versus Okada in another rematch after their 5 matches last year.
No.
And Sonata's going to pull out another win and be like, oh, he's getting his push, and then he'll fight Naito and lose, and that's it for another few months.
So let's go. I'm going to go throw one more hypothetical out here. Let's say, right, because the next round is Ishii against Hiromu in that upper left-hand corner of the bracket. Do you think Hiromu beats Ishii? Do you think? I mean, the hard part for me is getting a win over Okada. Ishii is one of those guys you could see him giving him a win over him, right?
I think he's beaten Okada in the cup before.
Ishii?
Maybe.
Oh, no, I'm talking about. What about Hiromu beating Ishii? Is that a tough?
I don't see that one. It's another one of those cases where I wouldn't be entirely flabbergasted, but I wouldn't pick it. I just don't see it.
All right, Scotty.
I can't picture unless it's something weird like the Yano. Like he beat Yano by countout. If he starts winning matches through this tournament without pinning people, I'm starting to believe it.
Needs a little fuckery against Ishii. Maybe gets a little Rudo in there. All right. Well, we've picked our finalists. We've picked our winners. I should say, not the finalists. We picked our winners. That's it for New Japan Pro Wrestling. But I'm looking here, gentlemen. Steve, you've been keeping an eye on the Newswire, the Rudo Newswire, And we've got breaking news coming across here just as we were recording the show. What you were the one that broke the news to us, so let's hear it, man.
All right, hot off the press.
Hot scoops, hot fresh scoops with a Z.
Yeah, hot off the presses of PW Insider. Oh baby. Impact Wrestling is back. It's back in the news. Have ended their contract with Tessa Blanchard.
Their world champion,
Their world champion.
Reigning world champion, their first female world champion.
Or she was, except
First
she's been
woman's
stripped,
whip. Yeah.
obviously.
Wow, stripped of the title, and Impact has apparently terminated her agreement. Well, it looks like that, according to the PW Insider article, I think her agreement had kind of expired already, it seems like. So
Yeah.
I guess they couldn't come to terms. So I don't know if it's terminated, may not be the right one.
I think it's they couldn't come to terms with having her return to the country, which frankly, I'm completely behind that. Stay out of the U.S. as long as you can. This trashy ass treatment of a global pandemic is kind of sketchy, and if you got an excuse, take that excuse. There's an allegation in here that she refused to submit videos for them for the weekly television show, so that's more questionable, and that's more closer to grounds for termination, right?
Yeah, not following through on the.
But there's no real specifics about that, so I don't know what the arrangement was. Obviously,
all right.
I can also say, as somebody who has dipped in and out, they've been running this story where domestic abuser Moose has stolen the TNA championship belt after they did that TNA revival show a month ago or something. He's been running around with the fake TNA belt, calling himself the world champion.
Well, no,
is it side into that?
Is that the actual TNA? I think it's like the actual TNA championship, like the old belt.
Like there's the Impact Championship and the TNA Championship. They put it on the announce desk, and he stole it and started calling himself champion, which is like a pretty good heel storyline, right? As much as I don't like the person doing it.
That's Rudo. That is certainly Rudo. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, Tessa now being a free agent, I have a hard time thinking that with her, with what has come out about her, and I don't even really want to get into it, but I just have a hard time seeing AEW pick her up, but I think I can see Ring of Honor picking her up to bolster their women's division, the Women of Honor division. I think that's going to be a more likely landing point at this point than AEW. Scotty, what do you think?
I mean, from what I understand and how AEW works and how, they've had the other bans and things they've done of people, I would say, it would be probably pretty tough. Totally. I think maybe Ring of Honor, I don't know. She might have a little bit of trouble finding, big time work anywhere for a little bit.
Yeah, especially now given the circumstances. Steve, what do you think? What if you had to put a guess in the hat, where is Tessa's most likely landing spot?
AAA probably.
AAA, yeah.
She's already in Mexico because she's with her fiance husband. I don't know if they're married yet.
Oh yeah, Daga, yeah.
Her and Daga, yeah.
I mean, she's worked AAA before.
Wrestles for them, right?
Yeah, she's worked AAA before.
Yep. I mean, the whole story with her is she's ostensibly like a pretty toxic backstage personality, right? That's been kind of the report.
Mm-hmm.
And the racism, and that's a very some people say she's toxic, some people don't, and there's not a lot of hard whatever, but it appears to have kept her out of a number of places, so that's kind of tangible evidence in some respect. But she is good in the ring, and Tessa Blanchard, Big Mommy feud. I'm here for it, I guess.
Oh, Tessa Blanchard, Big Mommy feud. I want to see Big Mommy come out the winner in that one. Love, man. Why did you have? I miss Big Mommy now. Why did you have to bring up Big Mommy? I miss Big Mommy,
Sorry.
man. It hurts. It hurts, Steve. But alas, absence makes the heart grow fonder. And we did touch a little on AEW. Let's jump on into our next segment here. AEW Dynamite had quite a little episode here, and kicking it off, we had the lumberjack match. Luchasaurus coming out with his fellow Jurassic Express buddies, Marco Stunt and Jungle Boy, facing off against Wardlow with MJF. The Battle of the Beef to start it off. Your appetizer today? It's two big old steaks just being smacked at each other in this match.
This match actually, I mean, when they announced it, and I was like, okay, they're doing a lumberjack match, which I was like, all right, whatever. I mean, do these guys even really have that big of a beef? I guess so. But man, this was fun. Both people really, I thought, came out and had a really good match. I mean, considering Wardlow's still, learning the ropes. And man, there was some other just crazy shit that happened in this match.
I mean, these guys were doing stuff that we hadn't seen either of them do before, right? We saw the Wardlow hitting the Hurricane Rana, the Tijeras. We saw Luchasaurus hitting that shooting star press from the stage, right?
I totally thought so. It's a lumberjack match, and actually, the Northern Belle was walking through the living room as I was watching it, and she heard them say lumberjack match, and she was like, what does that even mean? She was like, are they going to be using axes? And I was like, that's an interesting idea. But no, they just put a bunch of dudes around the ring to try to keep the wrestlers in the ring. And she was like, well, what does that do? And I'm like, it usually means there's going to be kind of like a clusterfuck at some point in the match. And it'll look like some people were in a car wreck. And yeah, that definitely happened. The cool little setup at Daly's place allows for some interesting shit too.
I mean, what about the costumes? What about the best friends coming out in matching lumberjack costumes with the flannel, the plaid flannel, the beanie, the suspenders?
Yeah, they looked great. They totally looked the part.
Steve, I mean, I want to ask. Let me ask the man from up north, who would know a thing or two about lumberjacks. I mean, that's a total
lumberjack.
That is a totally stereotypical Canadian thing here.
We don't wear plaid. We just wear jean.
You just wear jeans. Well, that's true, Scotty. That may be more actually up your alley because plaid. That's like the Seattle thing, right? So
Seattle
the
thing,
Northwest.
Yeah. I wear plaid all the time.
You
better be wearing plaid next week or not next week. Damn it!
Next time you see me, I'll wear some plaid, Steve.
Nice, Scotty. Do you have any flannel since you moved up to the Northwest? Did you invest in any of that?
I had flannel before I moved here.
So now you get to wear it more often, right? Now it's like
yeah. Actually, all my clothes went from kind of being a little bit of an oddball in San Francisco or New York or whatever to now it's like, oh, I just look normal here.
You blend right in.
Blend right in, yeah.
Well, I mean, we saw some great costumes. We saw Marco Stunt. I think Marco Stunt went through the atmosphere when he got tossed.
He nearly got put into orbit by Wardlow.
Marco nearly became a satellite.
Yeah, like so Wardlow and Luchasaurus are up brawling on the stage, and of course Marco Stunt just can't keep his nose out of anything. Goes up and tries to pick on Wardlow, and Wardlow just picks him up and gorilla pressed him is kind of the right decision.
Gorilla tossed him. Yeah.
Yeah, like he double arm like shot put the guy up into the air and out onto the lumberjacks. I mean, he fell for a little while.
Yeah, the Excalibur said he got nearly 20 feet in the air, and I mean, you look at it, that stage is probably what 10 feet high, 12 feet high, and then you got Wardlow, who's another what 6 something on top of that, 6'5" on top of that, with the arms extended above the head, and then he gets that extra bit from the toss there.
Yeah.
I'm doing the math. I think he may have even gotten a little bit above 20 feet.
I mean, I'm really surprised. This is giving me an idea for the next weird thing they need to do on AEW. But they should just have wrestlers come out and see who can throw Marco Stunt up the highest. And like they can have like a measuring
Like
tape behind.
like a combine kind of thing, like
Like
Marco
a
Stunt.
tough man contest. Yeah. Or a strongman contest. And they can have pads for him to land on. So you don't have to have lumberjacks keep taking a beating from him.
No, they can give him the Velcro suit and then do like a target wall, so he like sticks to it and then you can mark it.
Oh, that's a different event.
Oh, that's a different.
Yeah, that's totally a different event.
So are you going the Marco? Is the one you're describing? Is that for distance or is it for height? Like, how are you scored?
That one's for height. Then there's one for distance, kind of like what you described. You could probably also do another one where you do like a Superman swing, and whoever can swing him the furthest out from like spinning around. And letting him go. Yeah, like a hammer toss.
The hammer throw, yeah.
Yeah. There you go. 3 events. I'll come up with a couple more.
Poor Marco, man. You better hope if you putting people through the Marco Olympics, man. Poor Marco. You better get that guy some extra money, man. I mean, getting tossed around like that. Poor Marco. Steve, you have any events for the Marco Olympics? What you can do with throwing Marco?
I don't necessarily want to throw him, but you think you could bounce off of him like a high jump pole, like a pole jump?
Just use him.
I know he's not that tall, but
I mean, is the pole supposed to be taller than you? Right? I don't know.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Maybe like
they could do like camber toss with him.
I got it. Marco curling, where you put something on him and you slide him on the ice, and then.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, and just curling too. Who could do the most Marco curls? That's probably Cage. I mean, come on, let's face it. We've seen Cage. He's does a lot of curls with people. I think Cage. That would be a pretty long event because Cage would be out there for like 12 hours curling Marco.
But now imagine. So okay, Rudo Nation, we're gonna go there. I'm sorry, but imagine now. Say one of the events is the press for height toss of Marco Stunt. We've seen Wardlow, pretty impressive. We'd assume Luchasaurus has got something good. You said Brian Cage. I'm like, yeah. What about like Brody Lee? Like we've seen Brody Lee toss around Marco Stunt pretty well. Lance Archer, like, dude. I mean, we're talking about. Let's just keep it to the heels, and it's just like the bad guys take turns in the Marco Olympics. There we go.
You got to be Rudo's
Jake
only.
Hager. You got Jake Hager. Like there's 5 giant dudes.
Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn's not Rudo. I said Billy Gunn, but he's not Rudo. Maybe you could throw Evil Uno in there or something. Maybe, I don't know.
I think it's I think there you go. Boom. Tony Khan, hit me up.
There you go. The Marco Olympics. Well, Scotty, I know we had the little Sheeta match. Well, actually, I take that back. Let's wrap up here. So after this match, we're going to see MJF and Wardlow versus Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, the kind of continuation of both of those feuds. I'm stoked, man. I mean, this is going to be a recurring theme we're going to talk about, but how fucking stacked are these tag team matches that we're coming out of this for Fyter Fest? I mean, this, like, and we're going to talk about Fyter Fest later. We're going to do a quick rundown of the card, but the theme, I think, like many AEW shows, is tag teams. And this is just another great tag team match in that lineup.
I think it's inarguable that this company is the best tag team scene in probably the entire world.
Oh, yeah.
In a long time.
In a lot,
yeah. Like there's certainly teams in other promotions that are very talented and could easily hang with like the top level of this roster. But in terms of depth of teams and talent, it's so hard to compete with this. You know, there's places they felt like their women's division isn't necessarily the greatest. Their undercard can be spotty with certain people they've hired. Their main event scene kind of flip flops sometimes. You know, when you have to have filler matches with filler title defenses with like Jake Hager and stuff.
Yeah,
whatever. And it's nice that they're doing that because it builds people up. But the tag scene is where they have pretty much all of the talent that's ready to go, so to speak.
Yeah. I mean, you look at, I'm racking my brain here real quick, trying to think of a great, like, any promotion that had anywhere near this good a tag team division. I mean, and this is really funny to mention now at the time, but like on paper, TNA had a pretty darn solid tag division for a while, right? They just never used them correctly. They had like Motor City Machine Guns. They had the Young Bucks at one point. They had Daniels and Kazarian. They had Beer Money, Bobby Roode, James Storm. They had a lot of really, really good tag teams, but they just never quite utilized them correctly.
Yeah, it's like if you come at me with a roster of like 4 good tag teams, it's just not good enough.
No,
I think the next best thing, and you've got to go way back, is you're looking at like maybe like 88, 89, 90-ish of like NWA, WCW, because you get into like they've got the Road Warriors and the Steiner Brothers and the List and the Rock and Roll Express and the Midnight Express
I'm gonna go
the Freebirds.
Yeah,
You've got
Skullbusters.
You've got the
Brainbusters.
No, they weren't really WCW.
You've got the Andersons, the Minnesota
Right,
Wrecking
right,
Crew,
right,
like
right,
that
right,
kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go internationally. I'm gonna say that mid '90s All Japan, when they had like Misawa tagging with Kobashi and Inoue. They had the 4 Pillars. They were bringing in Dr. Death, Johnny Ace, who were a great tag team at the time. I mean, I that All Japan Pro Wrestling tag division from the 90s was pretty fucking stacked. And that was just because they had an insanely fucking stacked roster that they also happened to tag together. So that may be my vote for the most recent. But like you said, Scotty, that WCW tag roster in the late 80s, early 90s, really, right?
Stacked.
Yeah. All right. Well, Sheeta, Red Velvet, we just kind of, we'll have Sheeta face off against Penelope. And
I just like, Sheeta came out and was all business and just squashed in the squash match.
Red Velvet, yeah.
Yeah, she just, and I was kind of like, oh yeah, that was cool.
And
she
then,
looked intense.
And then, I mean, in the little brawl afterwards, I thought, I think Ricky Starks got like an elbow in the eye or something. It looked like he
don't fuck with Sheeta.
Holy Sheeta, buddy. Holy Sheeta.
Yeah.
And then Scotty, I know you wanted to talk about this. You mentioned this on Twitter, on your at Scotty Nobelt on Twitter, the Cody press conference. I mean, this press conference, the promos were kind of but I just how it was set up, I think was the most interesting thing about it, right?
It kind of drove me crazy as soon as I saw it, because like they're just sitting there. Jake Hager doesn't want to show up or whatever, and they've got the reporters, so it feels legit, even though they probably can't quite do it justice because of COVID, right? Like,
You can't
as
have
far as setting the scene.
yeah, you can't have the scrum, the press scrum.
Yeah. So they're in there and they're, they're like, they let Arn start talking, and I noticed that like 3 of the dudes are all wearing like the same orange ties. And Cody's wearing like this red suit that doesn't really match anything. And it's almost like, did they just punk those guys to be like, oh yeah, we're all gonna rock the orange tie for this? And then like Cody was like, ha ha ha, no way, guys. Or something like that.
Cody. Now here you go. Those guys are all. Don't forget, they were faces, right? Dustin was a face, and Cody wearing the red suit, maybe red for Rudo. I'm just saying. Maybe a little foreshadowing, right? That blood red suit. I don't know. It's very Rudo.
And then the other thing that I still haven't really gotten to the bottom of, and maybe I never will. This is almost like the mystery of Brandy's exorcism. But like Allie being there without QT, like they've kind of gone like, we don't not really why she's here, but she's with QT, and then QT's not there, and she's like, well, I'm still here, and I'm like, I just don't understand what's happening there.
Scotty, she has a jacket.
I know.
She's part of the family.
That's right. So, she got a jacket from QT. So
she didn't. She was the only one wearing the jacket though. Everyone else got the orange tie memo.
Yeah. What was that? And then Arn. Well, no. Didn't Arn have the American Nightmare? Didn't he have like the sweater vest? Didn't it have the American Nightmare logo?
But he had an orange tie on underneath the sweater vest.
Oh, okay. So he was doing both. He was rocking both the repping the Nightmare family and the tie. Okay. I mean, the other who was that guy holding the fucking belt the whole time behind Cody? I mean, like,
I don't know. There were so many questions.
I mean, like, why? Like, most of those press conferences, whether you're New Japan, right? We've seen with them, UFC, all that stuff. They put like the belt on the table in front of the champion. Like, why do you have the schmuck standing behind the champion with the belt? It just doesn't look that good. Like, you want to put the title belt in front of the champion because you get that nice shot with the camera, right, where it lines up the champ behind the belt. That's a classic shot. That's great. Having the guy standing behind the champ holding the belt, I don't know, it just looks low rent to me.
That's fair. I thought the whole thing was a cool idea that just was a little like,
Well, and speaking of fashion, we got Hager coming in. He was wearing like a Henley shirt or something, but like just the front was tucked in. It was really, I don't know. I don't like Hager. I don't like his fashion sense. To be honest, I really don't give two shits about this feud. I don't care for Hager at all, and I will be. I may be zoning out during this match. This maybe might go get a snack match.
Yeah, this is just one of the handful of matches that will be a part of Cody's long and illustrious TNT title reign.
Steve, what do you think? I mean, are you in the same boat in this feud? Are you a little lukewarm on it? You think it's just gonna be yet another match in Cody's long and glorious reign as TNT champion?
Probably true. I don't think I buy Cody being able to get a good match. If the Dustin Hager match was any indication, I don't know that. I mean, Cody's probably a better wrestler than Dustin, but like it's not my style. So even if it was good, it probably wouldn't be my style. So that just doesn't help me at all. And I don't give two shits about Jake Hager. Dude sucks.
Yeah.
It's like he's somebody that I do not enjoy on screen, and also I know he's a shitter off screen. So combining those two means I just
you're tuning him out. You're tuning him out right away. Yeah. All right. Well, we got a little video segment here. Joey and Sonny, Joey Janela, Sonny Kiss, Bad Kiss, as I like to call them. They were in a parking lot fight. I mean, Joey was getting Lunchables in the convenience store, and that brought me back, man. I haven't had a Lunchable in forever. So I wanna bring us back to our childhoods, And I want to ask, I'm gonna start off, but I'm gonna ask the host here, what's your favorite Lunchable? So I'm gonna start it off. I liked the taco one. The taco one I think was good. You had the pre-cooked meat in the fucking plastic squeezy, right? You had the little flour tortilla, and it wasn't that bad. I liked it. I didn't like the pizza one because like the pizza, you got the sauce. It's kind of messy. It was not very good. And then
You're
like,
not very good with your sauces, huh?
oh wow, why you dissing my sauce game?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, and then you got cold pizza, right? You got cold pizza with non-melted cheese. It's not good. It's not good. And the cold cuts, I mean, cold cuts are cold cuts. Like, I don't know. So there you go. My favorite's the taco. Scotty, what was your favorite Lunchable growing up?
We didn't get Lunchables when I was growing up.
You didn't get Lunchables.
No. Mom made a sandwich or we, but we never. It was just I don't know. We just never had them.
Just never had them. Steve, did you ever get Lunchables as a kid? Am I the only one here?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did. I actually like the pizza one.
You like the
Fine
pizza one?
enough.
Did you like the one with the little fake pepperoni, or did you go cheese?
Usually just cheese. I didn't really get to pick, honestly. The my guilty pleasure was the nachos, though.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the nachos.
They were not good. It's one of those things where I objectively don't think it was good, but also I definitely liked them.
Oh, I mean, it's total processed junk. That's why it's amazing. Your brain loves that stuff. It's so good. I mean, I don't think any ingredient in a Lunchable is like is there like anything real, anything natural in there?
No.
Oh,
Probably
man.
the only thing you can really trust is the bologna in the cold cut, because at least you're like, well, at least it's bologna, and I know what bologna is.
Yeah. I mean, that's just crackers and cheese with a little meat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we got Bad Kiss tagging against Colt Cabana and Brody Lee. And this match, man, I feel like these tag and multi-man matches are really where Janela shines through. You know, Janela's a singles wrestler, but Janela is better in these types of environments. So I'd like to see him get more tag opportunities with Sonny Kiss.
I want to say I like the name you made for them, Bad Kiss.
Bad Kiss, thank you.
And I really liked them as a team and thought that this was a decent little match for this, two stories like colliding at once.
And
because on the flip side, you have Colt Cabana teaming up with Brody Lee, who Brody Lee is actively recruiting to be a part of the Dark Order. So you have these two different kind of stories happening, and then they collide in this match.
And you had I mean, Brody Lee basically serving up the victory for Cabana on a silver platter, right? Hitting Janela with the ripcord clothesline.
Yeah, again, very interesting. And it even looked like, Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela had a shot. They did some cool shit in this match together. And it really took 4 members of the Dark Order to hold down Bad Kiss. And you're right, Brody Lee, they've got the match won. Joey Janela's knocked out on the canvas, and he stops. And he looks at Colt Cabana, is like, "Here, you want the pin?" And Colt Cabana's like, "Yeah." It's like he's never won a wrestling match before. But that I just find it really interesting, man.
Steve, what do you think? Are you looking forward to more Bad Kiss in the future?
Sure, yeah. They're fine. It's nice to see Sonny Kiss having some
getting an opportunity.
Yeah, but more just like being more confident, being on TV and stuff, and not rushing things so much, and getting some offense that looks more impactful.
And poor Sonny. I mean, Sonny sold like crazy too. I mean, that kick from Brody Lee turned Sonny inside out and sent poor Sonny into next week. That big Brody Lee boot on the outside. Oh. And yeah, I'm looking. We'll see what happens with Colt Cabana too. We saw them a little bit later, right, talking, and we would see later on in the episode that Colt Cabana and Brody Lee will be challenging SCU at Fyter Fest, bringing us into the next match, Scotty. And I know you're an old school territory fan, right? You love that old school territory tag team wrestling. I mean, this is the battle of the 3-letter tag teams here. I mean, this match, what did you think? I mean, these are 2 seasoned veteran tag teams, and I don't think SCU quite get the credit that they deserve as a tag team. They're really good, seasoned wrestlers. They've been a tag team for like a decade now. And both of them, I mean, a combined over like 40 years of wrestling experience.
Jay's engaging in some real strong Scorpio Sky erasure right now.
Oh, wow.
I know. Actually, I was even gonna say, the thing is, of the different combinations, I like the Kazarian Scorpio Sky combination a little better. Nothing
Really?
against Christopher Daniels. I just, as a unit, I like them together better. But hey, I'll take what I can get, man. As soon as I saw this was the match for FTR this week, I'm like, this is going to be another good match. Like, it just looks like, they all know what they're doing so well that they just go out and they have a good fucking wrestling match.
And
and this was another good fucking wrestling match.
This was not only a good fucking wrestling match. This is just a match with, and it's something, and it's kind of weird, like saying it now, but it's like very fundamental territory style tag team wrestling, right? Both of these teams, I mean, Daniels, old school, right? Definitely old school. Kazarian, seasoned tag team wrestler. He and Kazarian and Daniels tagged together for a while, but they do a lot of the same fundamental tag team wrestling things that FTR do, right?
Yeah, totally. And there's lots of tags, there's lots of teamwork, but not like
cutting off the ring.
I'm not saying that cutting off the ring, and I'm not saying this to disparage the teams that ignore the 10 tag 10 count limit or whatever. And I love that too. I'm not going to get into some kind of religious battle over this, but but I do want to say, man, just these 2 teams that like we said, they know what the hell they're doing. And this match was solid, man. There was some hard hitting. There was some, I'm not going to say high flying, but certainly some different, fast paced action moves.
But still ground-based offense, but fast-paced, like you said, right? Not quite high-flying, not like lucha, but just fast-paced, fundamental tag team wrestling.
It's true, and actually, JR had a really great quote that while this match was happening, he said, and he was like, "They're not just 2 dudes wearing the same T-shirt. Like, he's like, here at AEW, we've got tag teams." And these guys are teams for a reason, and it shows. It was good.
Yeah, it was really good. And so, Scotty, I want to just kind of wrap up this match I want to ask you 2 quick things. How much did you pop for the slingshot suplex and the 4 fingers afterwards?
I thought that was pretty dope. Really, really good little call out there. And you know what? Even if there's no big plan or it doesn't lead to something, like it's still kind of cool just to get people excited. The rumor itself is exciting.
Now, this is a much tougher question, right? You're the territory expert. You've seen Arn and Tully back in the day as the Brainbusters. who do you want to see guide FTR going forward between the two, right? Because we saw in FTR's first match, both Arn and Tully were taking notes. Between the two, who would you rather have managing FTR, guiding them, coaching them? It's a tough one, isn't it?
It is tough. I think, and I'm going to really surprise myself by saying this, is I'm going to go with Tully.
You gonna go with Tully? You think he's going to get a little more Rudo with them?
I just think, I mean, I don't know. And maybe if I take a step back and think like, okay, well, if Arn was managing them and they were heels, he would be acting differently than he does with as being Cody's manager.
He's done some Rudo stuff as Cody's manager, though. He's gotten in the match. He's interfered. I mean, he has taken a very active role, not quite your stereotypical babyface manager.
It's that's definitely true. But I think if he went full heel, you're a little different. But there's something about the presence of Tully still, like, and we've seen it with his mentorship of Sean Spears to a certain extent, is like he can be like a little darker, right?
Darker.
Like, yeah, like just something about him, like a little more sinister than Arn at this point.
All right, Steve. Same question to you, Arn or Tully? Who do you think FTR should be getting?
It's Tully.
Guidance? Tully.
It's Tully.
Tully.
I won't be shocked if they do both. I would not be completely shocked if they hook up with Cody with Arn as a face team for a while, and then together all three of them turn on Arn to join Tully and become heels together. I wouldn't be shocked if that happened.
Ooh, I like that, Steve. I like that. That is creative. Well, I mean, they had a sick reversal to end the match. FTR, right? They got that pop up into the Goodnight Express to get the win over SCU, the kind of snap surprise win, and cut a damn good post match promo too. It's a little icing on the cake there. You get a great tag team match and a great old school style promo.
And not that like there's one more thing. There's like two more things.
That's right.
We get Butch and the Blade
showing up,
revving up the FTR's truck,
committing a little Grand Theft Auto here.
Yeah, wearing their all white and whatever. Okay, that's their thing now. And then and they had a good match with FTR, so cool if that's not story's not over. But then the big surprise.
That's right.
Popping up behind FTR.
Maybe a little early.
A little early.
I think the editor production team screwed that one up a little bit.
Yeah, they should have held the camera off or held them down, from jumping on a little early, but
yeah, it's fine. I was just like, whatever. They're back. They're there.
I'm just happy to see the Lucha Bros back and healthy.
Yeah, totally. Got them in America. Hopefully they're they chartered Tony's private jet or whatever.
Well, now
get them.
Well, and now they're here, and now we've got this match on paper. I think this may be this is my pick for the best match. I'm gonna go. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but between the two nights of Fyter Fest, this is the match I'm most looking forward to. This is my pick for the best match that they set up from this promo. That's the 8-man tag with FTR teaming up with the Young Bucks against the Lucha Bros and Butcher and Blade. This is my pick for the best match of Fyter Fest, both weeks.
I think it's the one I'm most interested in. What I'm the most excited to see.
Yeah, Steve, what about you? Where does this rank?
It's going to be really good. I actually am a little more interested in the tag title match, I think.
That's
Also,
and that's a perfect
if
segue. We got the promo hyping it up here, right? Best friends and Mega Hang.
if the Moxley match happens, I think I'd put that one a little higher too.
Okay. Okay. Well, we got a great little video. I love the best friends. Like they have just that great, legit friendly vibe energy. I mean, they had matching lumberjack outfits earlier in the night. I mean, that's dedication as a tag team when you have matching outfits, right? I mean, Mega Hang, they don't have matching outfits. I'm just saying.
They are. I mean, it's very much like a best friends versus yin and yang. They're very like different. I thought this was a cool promo overall. Like actually getting to just hear more of the best friends chit chat and talk about like their relationship and where they've come from. I'm like, it's funny because it to me it makes me want to pull for them a lot, right? Even though I'm wearing Hangman's shirt. I love Hangman Page. I think he's awesome.
The best
But,
friends,
like,
it tugs at your heartstrings, right? They're like
yeah,
earnestness, like they're very earnest. They are very like they're genuinely friends, and you can tell. And like they go all over the world, and they've been the best friends for a while, and da da da. Yeah. Like you feel that, right? That earnest energy really is really apparent.
and then you have on the other side Hangman and Omega, and they're very different. But I really liked how Omega was like, "Look, we wanted to be a team. Boom, we're a team. We wanted to win the belts. We won the belts. We want to have the best match. We had the best match. So it's like, all right, it's cool. It's being set up like very much an underdog story
Yeah,
for
I
the
mean,
best friends.
and I kind of like that how they made him seem a little cocky, right? They're like, oh yeah, we just decided, we're such great wrestlers. Fuck it, we're gonna be a tag team. Oh shit, we had the best tag team match. Blah blah blah. Right? I mean, it's like they're definitely got a little cockiness in there.
I mean, Hangman calling them weirdos. He was like, "What's with their weirdo shit?" And I'm like, "All right, so now that's probably going to be a T-shirt for the best friends." But then, but also again, it's like that's not a very technico thing to say like that, right? Like they're definitely like you're like, oh man, I feel like I need to root for the best friends.
Steve, what do you think? Steve, you rooting for an upset? You think?
I would be happy with an upset, but I'm definitely picking Mega Hang to
No,
hold the
yeah,
belts because it feels like there's more story to do there.
Mm.
yeah.
The tag teams are where it's at. Like there's so many combos just waiting to happen.
So many enticing matchups that we still have yet to see. Right? So many on the horizon. Well, we had Brian Cage kill a jobber. The fucking drill claw. Love it. Love it. Love the old Steiner screwdriver. And kind of. Well,
I
I
was
know
gonna say I like
you like that
Taz's
promo. Yeah.
scientific breakdown of Brian Cage's moves before the
Oh,
match.
yeah. Yeah. Like the sports science, their like
Yeah.
version of sports science.
He's like, look at the acceleration here. And I'm like, all right.
They should
We just
really
did
do
that.
like, isn't Tony Khan like really big into stats? Like just do the sports science shit. Like when Brian Cage squats and does his explosion, he runs he can clear one side of the ring to the other in 8.2 seconds or something, right? Like they should do like some sort of, I don't know. That's just the data geek in me. Just totally rip off sports science with like Brian Cage. Like the machine can, or a good one would have been like, what would have been the height on Marco's Gorilla Press, right? Have him do like the little graphic with like the parabola of like his like trajectory.
Next week. Yeah, that's the sports science has his sports science segment for next week.
Oh, how far could you throw Marco? All right. Well,
All right. I'm gonna tweet that to Taz later.
tweet it to him. Yeah. Yeah. And we got a little acknowledgement, right? Of the COVID and stuff going on, all that. Talking to A little allusion to the situation with Renee there in the promo.
Yeah.
And we talked about the Brody and Colt promo where they challenged SCU. Britt Baker, Big Swole. Little trash. A lot of trash dumped on the doctor there. That's one way to do some trash talking, right?
Boo.
I see what you did there.
Can we fire Jay
Oh man.
out
Come
of
on.
a cannon
You have a cannon. You gonna fire
into the sun?
I was gonna say fire me into a dumpster. Like Britt Baker.
You deserve worse.
Rather go into a dumpster than go into the sun. Sun's pretty hot, man. I don't want to melt. We got Santana versus Matt Hardy setting up the match next week. I actually know. Is it next week? Yeah, it's next week. Private Party versus Proud and Powerful will be happening night one, and I think it's gonna be awesome, man. I'm stoked. I want to see what Private Party looks like now under the tutelage of Matt Hardy. Maybe we'll see some more swantons.
I think it's gonna be good again. Tag teams, all amazing.
Tag teams all day. And then finally, the main event, Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho facing off mano a mano. I mean, right? We didn't see the rest of the inner circle here. This was mano a mano. Frente a frente, as they say in Mexico. I mean, Scotty, or actually, let me go to you first, Steve. Steve, I mean, tell us what you thought about this Orange Cassidy, dark Orange Cassidy.
He didn't turn dark until Chris Jericho attacked him and insulted him. It's Ultra Instinct Orange Cassidy, actually.
Ultra Instinct.
I don't know how many people that joke's gonna land for, but
It didn't land for me, but it's okay.
all right, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I mean, I think the biggest, most exciting moment of this whole thing was Orange's getting his ear exploded.
Oh my god, dude! Like he must have taken a chunk out of the top of his ear, because I think the blood was coming from the top, and you could see it kind of looked like it was like squirting or gushing. Like it looked pretty bad.
I want to see a replay of that, really. Like, I want to know what happened, and I want to know what really got hurt, because it looked really bad.
Yeah, I'm thinking my most likely bet might be, I mean, maybe because Jericho caught him pretty good with a right. Did he maybe pinch it, like when it hit that boom, the camera boom thing, the camera, whatever they called it? Or maybe the other one would be, maybe he caught it on the corner of that box that they were fighting on, that equipment box, the stage equipment box. Those things had those metal edges. That'll take a chunk out of some skin. You hit that at the wrong angle. And then Scotty, I mean, that last image that we're left with of Orange Cassidy, blood dripping down his ear. He's got the blood on the t-shirt. I mean, how cool was that?
So this whole segment, right? And I'm gonna say it. This whole segment, this was the Rudo move of the week. There were too many things in here that you can't just pull out one or the other.
It was Rudo from start to finish.
Jericho comes out and just tells Orange Cassidy exactly what he's thinking. About how Orange Cassidy is the chicken who crossed the road joke over and over and over again. He grabs Orange Cassidy. I thought shit was gonna get real when he takes Orange Cassidy's shades off of his face and crushes them in front of him. It's just like
that alone could have been Rudo move of the week. But all of the Rudo-ness in this segment, right?
Yeah. Like this is such a good job of actually getting me really excited about this match. Not that I didn't care before, because I figured it would be entertaining, but now I'm like, oh, I want to know. I want to see if Orange Cassidy, maybe he's got a chance to pull off the big upset. He certainly Jericho had him up on with the big metal box, like you were saying, was about to do, I don't know, looked like maybe a pile driver or something on it. And Orange Cassidy, he just kind of relaxes himself off of Jericho. Right? Like he didn't really do a counter. It's just like he just kind of went limp and
Slid out.
slid off. And then, you know, he's there and he lines up Jericho for the best Superman punch in the business, and knocks Jericho clean over and onto another table, and then he just stands there furious. It was excellently done.
Steve, how hyped were you with that last image of Orange Cassidy, the bloody Orange Cassidy, blood Orange Cassidy, so to speak?
He just keeps bleeding. It just keeps happening.
It's Flair-esque, the amount of bleeding going on.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's probably going to be a good match.
This is the singles match I'm most looking forward to on both nights of Fyter Fest. I'm going to come out and say it. I mean, Scotty, by the way, go check him out at Scotty Nobel on Twitter for the Rudo Move of the Week award. But yeah, I mean, this is the singles match I'm most looking forward to. I mean, real quick, let's just run down the Fyter Fest cards, nights 1 and 2. Night 1, Cody defending the TNT title against Jake Hager. Mega Hang defending the tag championships against Best Friends. Private Party with Matt Hardy in their corner versus Proud and Powerful. Sheeta defending the AEW women's title against Penelope Ford with Kip Sabian. Jurassic Express versus MJF and Wardlow. And then you got night 2. Lance Archer versus the bad boy Joey Janela. Nyla Rose in action against an opponent yet to be named. SCU versus Colt Cabana. Stu Grayson and Brody Lee, a little interesting Dark Order Cabana mix. Orange Cassidy versus the champion Chris Jericho. Young Bucks and FTR against the Butcher, the Blade, and the Lucha Bros. And finally, a match that may not happen. Jon Moxley defending the AEW championship against Brian Cage. I'm most looking forward to, singles match wise, the Orange Cassidy Chris Jericho match, and then tag match I mentioned earlier. I'm most looking forward to the 8-man tag Young Bucks and FTR against the Butcher, the Blade, and the Lucha Bros. Steve, let's see, your singles match and your tag match you're most looking forward to out of those 2 nights.
Singles match, the world title match if it happens. Like I said, I'm kind of and again, we're speaking entirely about in-ring. I'm a big Brian Cage fan.
He's a fucking machine.
Entirely in the ring. And I really want to see what Jon Moxley does with somebody like that. It will be very much like the Jeff Cobb match probably, but Brian Cage is also incredibly strong and he's just got a little bit of a different moveset, so I'm really interested in seeing that.
Scotty, what about you? Tag match you're most looking forward to, singles match you're most looking forward to.
Ooh, when you put it that way, I'm going to say singles match I'm most looking forward to, as of right now, is Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho. And then the tag match, I'm going to say, does the big 8-man match, does that count?
Yeah.
As my tag choice?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
So you're going the same as
like,
me.
Just,
we're going the same. You and I are on the same wavelength.
Just give me it all. That night 2 is gonna be great. I actually, top to bottom, kind of think night 1's gonna be, I don't know. It's like I like all the matches on night 1. I think they all sound really cool. But night 2 has the 2 standouts for me.
Yeah, I mean that tag match, the tag championship match, may be what main events that first night. I mean, that I could see that being the main event.
I could too, although I think they said the TNT belt is the main event for night 1.
Oh, is it?
But
bummer.
Don't quote me on that.
I hope you're wrong, and I'm not saying that in a mean way about you, Scotty.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Rudo Nation, hit us up your singles match you're most looking forward to for the 2 nights of Fyter Fest, your tag match you're most looking forward to the both nights of Fyter Fest. Hit us up at Rudo's Podcast, at Scotty Nobel. I mean, shit, follow us both on social media. We're there at Rudo's Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. Go on YouTube, search for the Rudo's Podcast. We got all of our video episodes. We got interviews on there. Go check it out. Subscribe, like some videos, share them. Get all of our audio episodes, rudospodcast.co or your favorite podcasting platform. When you're on that platform, follow us on there too. Get notified when you get these fresh Rudocast episodes dropping, because how else are you going to know? How else are you going to know when this shit drops? You got to follow. You got to subscribe. Right, Scotty?
That's right, man. And the amazing thing is we may not get together and do a live show whenever someone puts play, like I thought happened earlier. But it'll feel that way if you subscribe to us.
That's right.
You'll know when it's there.
You'll know. You'll see it pop up, and it's like, it's just for you. It's just for you.
Yep.
Just for you. Your own special notification. Well, you can also get some sweet Rudo's merch, Rudo's Podcast, on Pro Wrestling Tees, prowrestlingtees.com/Rudo's Podcast. Got new designs up, new mask designs. We got real masks made. Spoiler alert, we're going to see those soon. Gentlemen, it's been great talking wrestling with you. As always, Scotty, my amigo, my good friend, enjoy your vacation. Enjoy your well-earned time off. And enjoy it and have fun, man. Have fun.
Yeah. Gracias. Thank you.
Steve, you've also got some time off coming up. If I don't talk to you next week, have a good vacation, buddy.
Oh, thank you, Jay. Appreciate that.
Oh, no problem. No problem. We
Maybe I'll try to get some nice pictures of the Ontario wilderness.
The Ontario wilderness. I'd like to see that. I mean, heck, you got some fashion tips from Chuck and Trent this latest week with those lumberjack outfits. I'm just saying, man. A little denim, a little flannel, right? Can you wear flannel in Canada in the summer?
And you're allowed. Nobody's gonna prosecute you.
All right. Well,
Jay, dude, you have a good little vacation too, man.
That's right. I may do a remote episode. The next episode may not be from the Rudo Dojo. We may have to set up a live satellite broadcast. Right? I don't know. I got nothing. But we'll see. I'll be out in the wilderness also. Up in the lovely Emerald Triangle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, well, Rudo Nation, thank you for listening. Enjoy your summer. We hope if you're taking a vacation, I hope you enjoy it. If you're staying home, that's great too. Do it responsibly. Do it, wear your mask, wash your hands, all that stuff. I'm going to be doing it. Scotty, I know you're going to be doing it. Steve.
I mean,
look at that.
You can do it with cool masks.
luchamask.com, run by or affiliated with our good friends here at Pro Wrestling Revolution. lucha-masks.com. I'm going to throw them another little plug shout out. And finally, most importantly, más importante, Ichiban, stay Rudo, my friends. Quédate Rudo, amigos.